Hey guys!
Hi guys, good morning
Good afternoon, good night.
and good day.
Welcome to Tea Time
Tea
with
time with
Daphne and
and
Janice.
Janice.
So, what are
Everyone's
you
thinking
drinking
it's
today?
okay. I'm drinking. Okay, I don't even know what it's called. I had to find tea. I don't have tea in the house. I
Yeah,
got it from Starbucks. It's called. It just says here tea, HTP, pomegranate.
okay.
Okay, and it has like little
So,
balls at the bottom. So I'm gonna take a sip.
okay.
First time ever ordering. Delicious.
Love it?
Yes,
Sugar?
not enough. Very
So, for
bland.
me, this mug actually, my friend got for me. All you need is love. I think it's backwards actually in the camera. But,
No, it looks great to me.
okay. But
Voila.
I only had like black tea. I usually drink green tea, but I had black tea because I was trying to wean off coffee. Um,
Yeah.
and I was trying to drink black tea because it like wakes me up as well. So then I
Mhm.
had to ask my friend to give me some green tea. So green tea,
Oh,
being healthy, okay, cleansing the body.
delicious. Cheers to life, Janice.
Happiness
Now
and
let's
life,
go.
love.
Amen. Now we have 20 minutes. That was 30 minutes of us talking about the tea. So next, every Wednesday, me and Janice will answer like questions from people. Just
Yeah.
in 20 minutes, Janice says,
Hmm.
because if not, her computer will shut down. So we got to keep it short, okay, guys?
Yeah.
So first question, let's get to it, Janice. I think I sent it to you. So my first question is, how do you find love during a pandemic?
Okay. Like love as in like
Romantic. She
romantic
wants
love,
a
yeah.
boo. She wants a boo. And she's like, I, okay, this is my friend's question, and she's going to watch this. It's basically, she sees everyone having a husband and a boyfriend. She's alone in her house, and she literally cries because she wants a man.
Okay.
And she wants to know what is the solution? Why isn't she happy? Why does everyone else have a man and she
Hmm.
doesn't? So
Okay.
she's looking for love.
So 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for you. We have two questions, 20 minutes, you know?
Okay.
So 5 minutes. Okay, so for me, I've been single for 7 years, never like talked or dated or whatever, any guy. So during this pandemic, actually, it really got me to think even more, what is the meaning of relationship? Why do you want a boyfriend or a husband? Like, what is the root of it? What is the
Mm,
actual like purpose of you wanting it? That is the first question you must ask yourself. It's not, oh, like I'm so lonely and I'm so bored and I'm stuck in quarantine and like I just want to have sex. I'm bored. Whatever. You got to think like, what is the real meaning of it, and
mm,
you got to know the real importance of marriage, of um, like finding that right person, so it's knowing that God has that perfect timing. And okay, during pandemic, I understand like a lot of people, I don't know how people meet like on the regular whatever, like at the supermarket or whatever before when before everything shut down, like a lot of people
you
meet
like
like
this apple?
online and stuff. This apple and like
You both reach for the same apple. I love you. Okay, so yeah, it may be in like romantic comedies with like Nicholas Sparks. Okay, yeah.
exactly. So what is I mean how they met before, like you go out, whatever, and meet people. But because of the pandemic, it got everyone to stay home, right? Like inside. So
Yeah.
I heard, there's things that went online, like online dating. Before you can only really like look for people in your own area. Like you pick like an area to like swipe through people or whatever. But when it was pandemic, you could go to another country or something and like start swiping. You get like a passport, like an online passport or something, and it's just like
Okay.
what.
Do you teleport there too?
No, you just like meet online or whatever.
I can print that with my thing with paint. I got my passport to fill,
What?
like an online passport. Like, what's that for?
Oh no, it's like you can get access to another country to like flip through other people in that country or whatever.
This is how you know I'm old. You mean Tinder, right? Flip.
Not only, yeah, not
Uh,
only Tinder, but any apps, like whatever,
oh,
online
all of it. Like,
apps. Yeah,
oh,
all the
girl,
dating
you know all
apps.
of this.
Yeah, because
So,
my
what are
friends
all the
talk about
dating
all the
apps? Like,
time.
oh,
Yeah. But the thing is,
question: which
so
ones are you on, Janice?
none. I've never been on one ever, So the question was like, how do you find a husband during pandemic? It's like instead of focusing on how do I find someone or how do I meet someone, it's like during this time, it's like really giving your heart and like your time and your mind to God and letting the real true like meaning of marriage and life. Like let me figure out my own feelings and heart and like
And time's up. Okay, my turn.
what? I still have 2 more minutes. And
I'm
so,
just kidding.
and
Could
so
you imagine?
really having that true meaning of why you want to find that person
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
letting God
Mhm.
do his work, even in the midst of a pandemic. He knows
Mhm.
everything. He knows where every single person is at in this world. He knows there in the Philippines. I'm here, like in my room. Like, God knows where you are, where I'm at, where my heart's at, where their heart's at. And he can bring people together in a blink of an eye. He's in
Yeah.
control of all things. So it's like, don't worry. Do not worry. Don't make it happen
Amen.
in your own timing. Don't try to do it in your
A
own control.
to the
Don't
men.
try to, yeah. Is that your
A
A
to the
to the
men.
quiet, A to the
A to the A to the
A to
men.
the Okay, your
Amen.
turn. What now? What?
Girl, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if we. I didn't know it had to be like 5 minute speech each. I had like a 30-second
It
thing lined up.
is. Okay, go. It doesn't need to
five
be
minutes.
more
That's
than
like,
5 minutes, but less than 5 minutes.
oh gosh,
Let
that's like
God
in
do the
school.
planning. Let God do
Amen.
the
Okay, Lord.
matchmaking. Do not
Oh
worry. He
yes,
knows
yes.
everything. He can make everything. He knows exactly every single thing that you need in your life. Every
Hmm.
person, every
Hmm.
quality, everything. He knows everything. So don't worry. Just trust, pray, and like you'll make it happen. Okay, your turn.
Amen.
That was 5 minutes.
I got goosebumps. All right, 5 minutes. Here we go. So basically, like the question was like, how do you find someone during the pandemic? I don't think maybe that's the wrong question to ask God, right? Because maybe God's locking you up inside the house for a reason. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I don't want you to find someone right now. Now's the time to find me. You've been looking all over the place. You've been looking on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time you can even look to me. So maybe the question isn't, yeah, like the person I was talking to you about, who will remain nameless. In the end, we had to talk about like she had to break up with a guy because she was dating a guy who was married.
Mm-hmm.
That God is probably saying it's not about getting married to that person so that they leave their partner.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like some of you gotta thank God that you're in this pandemic because this is the first time you actually took the time to think about what's important in life. Not saying
Yeah.
that you got COVID-19, but I'm saying sometimes when problems come your way, it's not always like we look to other people and say, oh, how come Janice got that guy basketball player? She's living the life. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what she's doing. Like, you don't know what happens behind closed doors in other people's
Exactly.
relationships. So to
Yeah.
compare your life
You
will just bring
can't.
more sadness to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the question isn't how do you find someone during a pandemic? The question should be, or would be a better question is, how do I get closer to God during this pandemic? Because the
Yeah.
closer
That's
you get to
exactly.
God, the more you focus on Him. Trust me, He will bring the right person to you, and He
Yeah.
might take away that married person in your life that He was like blocking the way for the right guy to come in.
Yeah.
This might be a time of God stripping things away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the
Exactly.
question is
So
bigger
right.
than how do I get married? Like, if that's your
Mm-hmm.
only focus right now, yes, you will get disappointed because whether you're Christian or not, people are having trouble finding a man even on Tinder. Like there's so
Mm-hmm.
many Tinder horror stories. There's so
Exactly.
many like horror stories with just like meeting people on Facebook and just like,
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't look to those apps
Exactly.
first. Or I was never on that either, but like
Yeah.
I don't think that's like the question. I think it's basically directed towards how do I get closer to God? God, show
Exactly.
me,
Yeah.
pray for your future husband right now, whether he
Mm-hmm.
comes tomorrow, whether he comes
Mm-hmm.
in 2 years. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, marriage doesn't solve life's problems. So I'm
Exactly.
married. I've been married, I forgot now. I'm 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, almost 5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
kid, adopted child, her beautiful Gabrielle. Say hi, Gab. Hi. He said
Hi.
hi. And then my daughter, they're watching us from the sidelines. But basically, and I have
Mm-hmm.
friends who are married, and trust me, if your heart is not in the right place before
Yeah.
marriage, where you focus in on God versus friends versus guys always filling your heart with
Yeah.
a boyfriend, a friend, a best friend, you will definitely like lack, because
Yeah.
they're only human. They can't
Exactly.
fill you up the way God would fill you up. Where
Exactly.
when things, when things fall apart, the first place we must go to is Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
on our knees, in our bed with Jesus. Like
Mm-hmm.
not in a dirty way, but like just seeking the Lord, like in a
Yeah.
quiet room, and like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that question was a good, really good question, because a lot of
Yeah.
people are probably like, oh, now I'm not going to get married. Like, I've had a
Yeah.
lot of friends talk about that. Oh, I'm lonely. When will I?
Yeah.
But I think this is the time that God will show us what's in our heart.
Yeah.
Even married, you can still feel lonely.
Exactly.
Even,
That's literally
yeah,
what I was thinking. Where we're going at
yeah,
is like, are you feeling it because you want to find a husband because you're lonely? Because of the
yeah,
pandemic, you're in quarantine, you're lonely. So like that's all you think about. It's not what's gonna satisfy you, right? You need God first. First and foremost, you know?
totally. So we just, I just told, I would just encourage this, like people who have this question, first ask God, like, what is true love? Seek what is true love. True love is God. God is love.
Hmm.
He is the only love that never fails. Okay, in the
Exactly.
Bible it says, First Corinthians, right? It says, love is patient, kind. Everything lists down every characteristic of love, and then at the end it says, three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And
Hmm.
like that's the only thing in life that will not fail. And it's not love from
Exactly.
your spouse, because
Hmm.
if you expect that from your spouse, that's so much pressure.
It
Like,
is. They can't
yeah,
fulfill
like,
that. They're
yeah,
human too.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and the love
Only
that we're
God.
seeking from whatever, like that love, that overflowing unconditional love that you're trying to find in a human being, you can never find, because humans are humans. Like they will fail you. They will, they
Mm,
won't always satisfy that need that we all need, right? And like how I think of it is like a puzzle piece in your heart, right? And only Jesus can fill that. No one else, right? So if you don't have that puzzle piece of God in there, there will always be an emptiness. And that piece, that emptiness, you're going to try to fill it with stuff, money, whatever, things, friends, whatever, boyfriends, girlfriend, and it's never going to fit. It's never going to be filled, like complete, right? So
I
during
think
this
it.
time in a pandemic, it's like, don't think of like how lonely you are. Take this time as like a time, like Daphne said, to get closer with God. It's a time where everything is literally stripped away, all the physical things, even people, like money, work, a stability, everything is stripped away. But what do we have? We have God that to rely on, who will always pull through, who will complete us, who will fulfill you. Like, you just need to give him that chance, that opportunity. And yeah, and then you will know what true love really is about, you know. So
Thank you, Janet.
mhm.
So let's cheers to that. Cheers.
Gee.
Look to Jesus and seek Him first. Not a hubby, not a wifey. What's our next question? I forgot. Do you know it?
Should we cut it and then go to the next one? Because I don't know how to cut it, like,
No,
or
let's
just
just
keep
do
going.
it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you remember though? Or no?
No, I gotta read it.
Fine.
It was,
Okay, I'll read it.
oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
When do you know you are ready to get married?
All right. Your first kid.
No, you first because like you're married. Me, it's like a different perspective, complete different. So.
Okay. Um, for me, I was single for how many? Was it 35 years? I was single for like 18 until 28. So that's like 10, that's 10 years. Okay, so I was single for 10 years. Why? Because before that, I used to like, you guys, if you just go on our YouTube, you'll hear my testimony. It was dreadful what life did to people. You know, life can be so messy, dirty, want to destroy your future. Because of that, I literally just threw myself at anybody because I was lost hope because of what happened. Okay, so you guys can listen to that testimony on our YouTube. But basically, God stripped away. I had to break up with my boyfriend. I wasn't never single for like at least even like long enough, you know, at that age. Like obviously when you're like 5, it's okay, you better be single. But it's like at that age where you're like teens, I was never single. And I think that was bad for me because
Mhm.
I never got to find who I was because I was
Mhm.
always looking to the guy to define me. So there was never that time where it's like, who am I? What do you want me to do, God? Who are you?
Mhm.
Who is God? You're always looking at who is He? Like, what's He doing? So for me, God stripped that away, and then
Mhm.
He wrote in my journal. I wrote, God, I want to be single for a year. I dedicate a year of my life to you, not
Mhm.
dating. That year turned to 10 years,
Mhm.
and during that time, I learned to see men in a different light. I used to see
Mhm.
them as like my enemy, like not to be trusted. But then I saw them as your brothers, like friends. Like you could see that. I've never had a guy best friend though, but anyways, that's
Mhm.
another topic. So through that time, for me, I think I remember when I knew it was, there was pastors telling me like, okay, it's time. Like the Lord's like,
It's
okay,
10 years. I think it's about time. No. But who
like
cares what
I
people say? But okay. And then.
yeah, it's not about what they say, but there was like I like love. I started to feel something for my husband,
Mhm.
who is my husband now. And then at that time I was like, how I think of it is like, who do you want me to marry, God? Not
Mhm.
what does what my heart want, because the
Mhm.
heart can be deceitful above all things. Like
Yeah.
your heart could want. I had a crush on someone, but then this guy had like girls sitting on his lap, and God's like, that's not the one. So even though your heart wants it, you're like, no. So how do
Yeah.
you know you're ready? I think through the process of when you know that that person doesn't define you, and like
Mhm.
it's more than just knowing you're ready. It's like you could think you're ready, like I'm ready because
Mhm.
really want to get married.
Mhm.
But there's a different type of ready where it's like, God, I have your way, and
Mhm.
you've matured, you've laid it down at God's feet,
Mhm.
and you're not gonna just pick someone because you're lonely, and then that person that you partner with is someone that will you both are going in the same direction.
Yeah.
So Janice knows, she walked through this with me. I My destiny was always in the Philippines. Like God always put the Philippines in my heart, even though I grew up in Canada.
Mhm.
Thank the Lord, my husband is from the Philippines. We met on a mission trip, but he actually has a heart for the Philippines. Like, you know, like
Mhm.
many people keep asking us, like, come move to Canada. When are you moving? And when I talk to him about it, and when we talk about it, our heart is just never there because that's not our dream, right?
Mhm.
But you could have a dream with your husband to go to Canada. So, but it wouldn't be fair if your dream is you're going to Philippines and your husband is going to Africa, and
Mhm.
then you both have to, like, the mission, the vision of your life
Mhm. It's
is not
separated.
in
Yeah.
line. It's
Mhm.
separate, but you just chose each other because he's good looking
Mhm.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would really say, like, for girls, there's a lot of men out there. Like Janice, you could just go to the bar right now and pick someone up. But why aren't you? Like,
Because
there's so
I
many
don't go to
guys.
bars anymore. Like, first of all, like bars are
Yeah,
closed. But I wouldn't do that anyway. I don't want
yeah.
someone who goes to
But
like those kind of places anyway.
you can though. That's it. Like, the thing is, you can. But why don't
You
we?
can. Oh,
It's
because
called
yeah.
self-control, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that. It's, you're not gonna be doing the picking.
Mm-hmm.
Let God do the picking for you,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
trusting Him for
Yeah. Yeah.
that. So
That's
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. In our generation, like if you think of all the people, whatever, there's so many people in the world, right? Like you can say there's so many fish in the sea or whatever, right? But how do you know it's the one that God has for you? It's different, right? So the question was, how do you
how do
know
you know
when
you're
you are
ready?
ready, right?
So my answer for that one is when God gives it to you. And then you lay it
Exactly.
at his feet and he's like, it's time. And I
Exactly.
think it's a waiting. Like, you can't stop it. That's why I say
Exactly.
it's enjoy your singleness, because once you get married
Yes.
and God's like, it's time, it's like,
Exactly.
this time is amazing. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
single time with God is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're married, it's different. You
Mm-hmm.
still have that time with the Lord, but it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm good. Well
Yeah,
said.
that's exactly right. Like when do you know that you're ready to be married? God will literally let you know. Like 10 years ago, I was like, oh, I'm ready. Like this next guy or whatever. But it was like, no, like, no. Like we don't know fully who we are ourselves yet, right? But until you fully know who you are in God and let God lead your life, let God lead your heart, your emotions, your footsteps, like everywhere you
Hmm.
are to go next,
Yeah.
he will literally lead you to whenever it is. And like I feel like you won't fully ever really know, like it's not just like a day like, okay, I'm ready, you know. It's
Like
like
sometimes you're married and you still don't know, did I
you're
make the right? Like, people, there's so many people
is
still
this
divorced.
right,
So,
like am I ready, like and you're already like 5 years in or
married.
whatever, right? Like that's wrong, like that's not
Yeah.
right. But it's like
Yeah.
kind of won't fully ever really know when you are ready, but God knows, right? He knows
Yeah.
when it's time.
Yeah.
He knows when, okay, your full identity is now in Him, not in yourself, not in another person, not in that person. Um, like, you know, you're ready when you are confident and just sure of God, like sure that
Mm.
He has everything taken care of, sure that He has your life taken care of. Not that you're doing it on your own or like I'm planning it my way or like I have everything set, like I have a stable job, I have this, now I'm ready. No, it's like because you can be ready, like God could have you ready even with all of that, right? Or with all of that. Like it's your
Yeah.
journey
It's
first.
more like you have to be mature in love.
Yeah.
Because I've heard people say it's like, I'll get married when I have $1 million. They get $1 million,
And they're
they
still
get
not ready
married,
or
then they
something.
got
Yeah,
bankrupt. Are you gonna divorce? What are
exactly.
you gonna do? You're gonna divorce? No, you can't. Like,
Exactly.
if you base it
It's
on monetary, like,
it's
fame,
all
look,
temporary. Every
all of that,
physical thing is temporary. So
but
knowing
you base,
who you
yeah,
are, like your
mm,
identity, your worth, um, like just every step of your way is in God. Like that's when you know you're ready. Like that's when God will tell you, when it is. And who knows when it is? You just never know. It's
yeah,
literally just like okay, whenever it is, like whenever your time, like you just don't
yeah,
know, right? And but you're sure, like like you're not worried, you're not stressed, you're not like having anxiety panic attacks or something. Like, when is it gonna happen? It
Yeah,
shouldn't be
you
like that.
definitely know you're not ready when you're not married and you want to kill yourself, or like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I hate my life. I'm single. Life is not.
No.
You ain't ready yet, because when you get married, your husband's gonna be like, or your wife's gonna be like, listen, I know you want
Yeah.
me like attached to your skin 24/7, but I
Yeah.
gotta go to the bathroom. Why
Yeah.
he goes to the bathroom and you're like, "Ugh," you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta
Exactly.
be. I think you're ready when you're comfortable in your own like relationship with the Lord. You know who you
Yeah.
are. You're
And
happy
like,
to be
yeah.
single
Exactly. And
and
back
to be
to like
married.
the singleness, like growing up, yeah, like I just always had a boyfriend or like someone, a companion or whatever, like there. And it wasn't until whatever 7 years ago, God was like, okay, that all needs to be stripped away because all of that is just temporary. And like
Yep. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I found basically my identity in these people, or not identity, but like I didn't really know how to do things on my own. Like I was always
Yeah.
with them, or I couldn't eat by
Yeah.
myself, or little things like
Yeah.
that. And like
Yeah.
always putting them first, or something like
Oh
that,
yeah.
but now it's like
But
putting
when
God
you get
first.
married, yeah, put God first. But when you get married, you're like, I just need you to go to the bathroom. As a mom, I'm like, the bathroom is the time I
You're
have for
like,
myself.
I
And
just
sometimes
need
even
my
when I'm
alone
in the
time.
bathroom,
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes when you're in the bathroom, your daughter's like, let me in, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, girl,
Yeah.
let
So
go of the,
yeah. So
you
don't
want
rush
the,
it. Don't dread the singleness. It's actually an amazing, precious time that you can't get back. It's like your
yeah,
alone time with God where He really wants to mold us as like an individual and like build us and heal us and forgive us and all these things that happen when like there's not someone there. And then we become like strong, in Him as an individual. And when that person also in their journey is strong as an individual in God, you come together, and then that's when like God will
yeah,
like really manifest in the marriage, in the family, and you want it to be a forever marriage. That's what marriage is about, that's what family is about. It's like it's not meant to be broken, it's not meant to be hurtful and painful. It's about bringing his kingdom onto earth together, right? And so don't rush it. And God knows He has the perfect timing, and just keep trusting in the Lord and enjoy the singleness, enjoy this time, like until He knows it's the right time.
yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that first of all, marriage is beautiful. Singleness
Mm-hmm.
is beautiful. I don't think everyone is called to be married, and I think we shouldn't think less of ourselves if someone is, or think less of someone if they aren't married,
Mm-hmm.
because the point of life is not even to compare. The point
Mm-hmm.
of life is to manifest love, be the love of
Exactly.
Jesus. Let
Yeah,
the love of Christ come over you, so that you can be the best spouse for your husband.
exactly.
When you can reflect Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
should be the goal. And I mean, like, in marriage, you're going to be pushed. And why? Because this is amazing. This is good. Because being with someone, they'll tell you, like, hey, listen, you're doing, I thought we were Christian, like, but you're getting angry, like,
Mm-hmm.
or like, hey, like, we're Christian, right? It says here in the Bible, love
Mm-hmm.
is patient, love is kind, but I know you're angry at your mom, cold call your mom, like, you can't
Yeah.
hide.
Or
So it's
like
a beautiful
looking
thing
at, or
for,
whatever, even looking at, something that's like committing adultery, like, like do not
yeah,
commit adultery, like all these kinds of things. It's like the Holy Spirit really convicts us and like brings us back into line into what real marriage and what real true love is, how God made it to be. And
how God made
so,
life to be. Life
yeah.
is all about love. And I think,
Mhm.
yeah, it can be cheesy and all, but it's the truth.
It
Like,
is.
love is where it's at. We
Mm-hmm.
need to love, 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 love. Don't
Mm-hmm.
forget
Look at
about
the,
love. Like,
all you
all
need
you
is love.
love. So thank you guys. Let's cheers to that, Janice. Cheers
Cheers.
to love. All
Cheers
right,
to
guys.
love.
So
Jesus loves you.
In two
Don't
hours, thank you
focus
for.
on what it wasn't 2 hours, that's a little longer, but we're
No.
going to try to keep it short. But basically, do not depend on another person to fill your loneliness or to fill you with love or hope and stuff. It all comes from God and only God. And God is the only one who will never fail us or leave us, you know? And so look to God first before any other guy or girl or whatever, or thing. All things are just temporary on this earth, but God is forever, eternal, never failing. Okay?
Bye, guys. Thank you so much, Janice. That was amazing. So,
Okay.
yes, Jesus loves you. We'll see you next
Yes.
Wednesday for
Okay.
the next tea time.
Tea time.
Bye.